Welcome to Ecosystem Chronicles. This is a global forum where we're going to talk specifically about topics related to partner data, partner insights, partner intelligence. And I'm your host, Dina Moskowitz, CEO of Partner Optimizer, and we bring partner intelligence to B2B platforms through B2B partner organizations through our proprietary data mining and partner intelligence platform for ecosystems. So happy New Year. It's 2024. And today marks our very fourth episode, but first episode of the year. And so I'm so excited. I'm really pumped up. And to my knowledge, it's the very first gathering of partnership community leaders this year. And it's bringing together, there's hundreds of us who are already signed up and registered to be here. And as you're joining on, just welcome. I hope this year is a great one for you. And I hope that this is an episode that you will save and refer back to as you move forward in your partnership careers, because it's going to be a special one. It's special first because we're talking about a topic that's going to be really helpful in your careers and in the year ahead, especially with the economic conditions that we are facing, and because of the importance of partner data and partner intelligence and how it can help you in your partner organization and your career. And secondly, because of who my guest is today and what he's able to talk to and bring to the table around this topic. He is the chief of all partnership chiefs right now. He's the co-founder and CEO of the most rapidly growing B2B tech partnership organization in the world. And his name is Mathew. And I am extremely excited to have you here, Asher. I know we're going to talk about partnership people, processes, product, and partner data, but I want to set the stage for that by letting you introduce partnership leaders. Now, first, before we do that, I just want to share a little bit about my experience with Asher, because I've had the opportunity to meet him probably half a dozen times live now, but also and talk to him extensively over the last couple of years. And, you know, Asher, he's a natural born leader. He's likable, he's relatable, he's so freaking intelligent, and he's got a photographic memory, which I learned, which is one of the reasons that makes him be able to be such a strong community leader, is that he really cares. He's had a career in technology partnerships and been in tech since the beginning of most of his career, I think. And he's an accomplished CRO as well. So he's gone from being partnership leader to also a CRO using partnerships to take a company in the data space to all the way through to exit by nurturing partnership relationships. So he really can walk the walk and talk the talk as he builds this partnership leaders community and enable our sector to grow and expand and be inclusive. He's incredibly personable. He's incredibly intelligent. And as you can tell, I'm a really big fan of him. So I'm going to set the stage now. Asher, please, welcome. Thank you for making this your first event of 2024. And, please, continue and tell us a little more about what you're building at Partnership Leaders.
Super. Well, thank you so much for having me. And for one, I think I ended the year with you and I'm starting the year with you. So this is a blossoming friendship. So thanks so much. And I had the pleasure of having dinner with Dina in San Diego as I would say the very last partnership leader event where we had a few members met up together. And Dina asked the question of what should we know about you that we don't already know? And that started a really amazing conversation. So for today, folks, I want to give you a little bit of an intro onto what Partnership Leaders is. We are building the private network for channels, alliances, business development, ecosystem professionals, and executives. And this really started out of a need that Chris, Ty, and I had for ourselves. And then we realized there were others that needed support. And when we dug in and said, look, there needs to be an organization that helps people become great partner leaders, and then that helps people build great partner programs. And those are the two things that Partnership Leaders really focuses on. It's on the next slide, Carrie. And then if you think about how do you build great partner leaders and how do you build great partner programs, as we have worked with 1,500 members in 42 countries that represent 980 companies. Um, there are 6 different ways you can do that, and we have tons of stories around how you can do that. Can we go to the next slide, please? So the first 2 ways are you need to connect with other leaders and other professionals over and over again, so that you build depth in your relationships with them, and then you can then ask for introductions. The second is you need to go to places where you belong. So sales, marketing, customer success, they all have amazing events. And I think partnerships needs modern events. I'm not saying that they don't have events, that we just need more modern events, and we need more of them. Um, and then you need a place where you can learn, like things like this that we're doing together, and we're bringing modern media uh, through live streams, through podcasts, through market research reports, and you want to solve problems together. And then at the end of the day, we all could use more visibility and recognition for the effort that we are putting in, because we are either succeeding or we're failing. But if we're succeeding and failing together, the industry elevates. And so we created this company specifically for partnership leaders. And we have a clearly identified hero of our story, which is many of you who are listening to this webcast. So a little bit about just who is in Partnership Leaders today. Krista and I went full time last year, and we've been working very hard to scale the company to represent all the different roles that we have. So whether you're an individual contributor or a manager or a VP or a CXO, there is programming available for you in Partnership Leaders. Then if you are a startup, SMB, mid-market, or enterprise company, we have there's a home for you there. A big thing that we did, and this is really Chris's effort, where we partnered with our friends from Workspan and InPartner to go around the world last year and really start this local chapter movement. And so now we have presence, like I said, in 42 countries in all the major regions. And so what we've now got is a very connected network of professionals that is working hard to elevate ourselves. Now, the question becomes, well, what are you elevating towards? And Carrie, can we go to the next slide? So what we are elevating towards is creating a role that owns all partnerships, right? In a lot of companies, you'll see there is a VP of X partnerships and a VP of Y partnerships, or a VP of X partner function and Y partner function, but there is no holistic leader of the partner strategy. And if you up level that even up from there, there needs to be a leader that works on the buy, build, and partner discussion and decision and the conversation. And so so we saw, and I just put the numbers up yesterday, a 117% increase in the chief partner officer title. And if you want to know more about what a chief partner officer is or a chief partnership officer is, you can go to chiefpartnershipofficer.com. We created this microsite for you. Also know that partnership leaders didn't come up with this, right? We are a company that elevates and amplifies. We do not create categories. Our job is to make you the hero, and you would go create categories. And so when Microsoft and Sage appointed chief partner officers, that was a signal to us that there was a clear need for an audience owner called a chief partner officer who would look at partners holistically. And so there's a lot more work to be done. This report that we did is very descriptive in nature. And but what is clear is as a CPO, you then need to understand how to build the org. And the way you build the org is you look at people, process, technology, and data. And this is a time-tested framework, and a lot of great companies have been built on it. And so there is a lot of work that, in my humble opinion, being done on the people side, where we are. There's lots of education to help ICs become great ICs, managers lead well, VPs understand how to get stakeholder alignment, and now we're going to be working on the CPO thing. There's a lot of great work being done on the process/program side. You saw a lot of the work that Jay and team did around supporting the industry in transitioning from a metals-based partner program to a points-based partner program. There are partner programs that have been created based on outcomes, where if you want to co-sell, co-market, co-build, or co-serve, Stripe would be a great example of that. Swati and Carrie and Tim have done an amazing job there. So I would recommend you to take a look at that. On the technology front, we have we've got the second party data companies like Crossbeam, Reveal, PartnerTap. They've done a lot of work last year. We also have companies like Workspan and Tackle and Labra and Sugar and Claysar, like, who are working on the cloud go-to-market piece. We have the PRM vendors with Impartner and Allbound and Magentrix and MindMatrix. Like they're doing work on how do you manage the longer tail of your partner program. And so I feel like there's a lot of conversation happened there, but not enough conversation happened around the data, which is the fuel to your go-to-market. And the reason why I say this is because when I was at Avalara, I went to a company called Lean Data. And at Lean Data, I learned about the lead routing mechanism, because if you can get the right leads to the right reps or the right resale, right partners, they will be in a better position to action them. Well, the problem is lead routing, but the bigger problem is the data. And so the data comes in, the data conversation can be big or can be small, meaning it can be as big as hey, which markets do we play in? Which partners do we work with? What are the competencies of those partners? What are the capabilities of those partners? And it can be as small as, hey, what's your target partner list? And so the spectrum of these conversations can be huge. And winning companies, like at least this has been my experience with working with Cisco and SAP and Adobe and Google. Like, winning companies have data teams, and those teams have spent a lot of energy and time and resources mapping out the customer journeys and then serving the right content to them, serving the right products to them, serving, and if people aren't ready to buy, they don't let them buy, right? And so if we look at just the data world, and I'll go back. So there's people, process, technology, data. And then if we just look at the data, there is first party data, second party data, and third party data, right? And those are the classifications. Right? First party means the stuff, the data that is extracted from properties that you own. Second party data is when you share data with other companies and you can grab insights from them. Crossbeam, Reveal, PartnerTap, they all play in that space. And then third party data is data that you extract from publicly available sources in the marketplace. And I'll go a little bit into detail on that. Dina's we're building a company. There is Dun & Bradstreet would be the longest tenured company in the space. HG Insights is another company. Demandbase, ZoomInfo, SixSense, Clearbit, who was just acquired by HubSpot. They're all examples of data companies. So, but the categories of data now are as follows. There's firmographic data, which is data that talks about what the company is. Then there's demographic data, and then that is data that talks about what the people attributes are. So if you said, hey, what is the title of these 5 partner reps inside of these 4 companies, that would be demographic data. Where are they located? What type of devices do they use? What type of browsers do they use? What are they posting? What's their social score? All that stuff is demographic data. Then there's technographic data, which talks about the tech stack. Like, specifically, you can tell what do people use in front of the firewall and what do people use behind the firewall, and there are ways to extract all of that. And then there is intent data. And intent data just says, hey, what is the likelihood of me making a decision, or how interested am I in a topic? And so between firmographic data, demographic data, technographic data, and intent data, there is a world where you use all of those attributes for building your partner go to market. And again, this is not new. Direct teams have been doing this forever. SAP has a project called Crystal Ball. Interesting name for it, for a data project, but they suck in tons of resources and tons of data in to inform their sales plays. Microsoft, over the 3,000 or 4,000 websites that they have, they're able to pinpoint exactly where prospects are in their digital journeys and when they should go, when people should pick up a phone, pick up the phone and connect with them. And so there's lots of investment already happening. But what's not happening, in my own opinion, is the same type of investment in the partner function. And I remember working with Fujitsu, who is one of Microsoft's top partners. I went to Japan to work with their CMO on helping them understand how to better work with Lumen, with Microsoft, and with some of their other partners. And so there is this appetite to use a very data-driven methodology around your partner go-to-market, but you need to figure out how to surface that partner data, or partner intelligence, if you want to call it, right? And these things are used interchangeably. And so in my opinion, as we go into now applying all the learnings from 2022 and 2023, and this year, 2024, we need to drive results. We need to get to that 30, 40, 50% growth. We need to figure out which partners we're going to work with. We need to have partner intelligence that allows us to first figure out who are the right partners we need to go after. And then we need to figure out how do we work with them. And then we need to figure out how do we reward them. And when all of those things are a strategy decision. And then there's tactics behind it. But if you just step back and said, okay, well, those are great questions. How do I answer those questions? And I can look at IDC reports or Forrester reports or Canalys reports, and they'll share information in aggregate. But I really care about understanding who are the top 100 partners I should prioritize, and then the top 1,000 partners behind them, and how many deals can I pull from that, and how many deals am I going to share with those partners? So this is a twofer problem, right? Because in the direct world, you just need to know which accounts am I going to go target and what am I going to sell them. But in the partner world, you have to say, well, which partners am I going to work with, and are they capable enough? And so without the partner intelligence, you're going to have to make a bunch of phone calls. With partner intelligence, you can actually save yourself a lot of time. And the way the data companies are built is they will use this thing called crawling technology, and they will look at all kinds of publicly available information, from like management reports to social feeds to companies just put out a lot of data today. And so PRs, people making announcements about what certifications they've taken, right? Like all of this data, once it's out there, you can actually grab it and then you can process it. And now with the invention of AI, all this thing is going to be even better and faster. But what will happen is, for a partner, if you're looking at a partner, you'll be able to say, this is a partner. They are operating in these geographies. They work with these type of customers. They have these type of specializations / certifications, if you want to call them, right? They have these type of wins. Those wins align with the companies that we really want as customers because our product is built for them. And I know these 7 people map to where my field reps are. Because at the end of the day, people have, when you do co-selling, if you can be close to your co-sellers and you can develop a better relationship with them, then it's faster to monetize that relationship, meaning you can be in market much faster because you can see those people. And so if you answer those questions, then you can go back to your strategy and say, the top 100, top 1,000, what am I doing with them? And so to me, it's amazing that Dia has put in a lot of effort to build this company, and offer partner intelligence. But it's very important to really write down the questions that you want to ask, and then use partner intelligence to power this, because the direct teams are already doing this, like Demandbase, 6sense, ZoomInfo, Dun & Bradstreet. Like they've created amazing products that go-to-market teams are using to have the growth that they're showing in the public markets. And it's time that we utilize the same methodologies and work on it. So Dina, would love to hear some thoughts of yours on this company that you've built that's going to help us all.
Yeah, well, we're getting there, company, customer by customer, and proving it out, and it's very exciting. It's something that I initially, when we founded the company, it was to solve our own problems of how do we help suppliers, vendors, SaaS companies to figure out quickly and efficiently and in a lean budget and without a lot of resources, how do you figure out who those partners are out there? How many are there in the world for you? What is that total addressable partner ecosystem that you can actually take advantage of, so that you can then justify a strategy around it in the first place? A lot of companies, because they don't have access to even that information, they dive in or they stay away because they don't know enough to, some come from the partnership world, so they'll have an advantage and they know that there's enough partners out there. They just don't quite know how to quantify them or who they are or where they are. Whereas others don't know it all. And so they do steer clear until they get to be large enough and big enough to say, we do need a partnership strategy, because we can't do our go-to-market with only direct sales. It's impossible. So, for partnership leaders of the future to be able to bring intelligence and partner data into their daily work, from strategy all the way through to recruiting and activating and engaging their partners, is absolutely game changing to what's going on in the partner world. And what we're seeing is that it's not just helping you be more efficient, right? Initially, you think, well, this is a productivity tool. I'm going to start my search for an ideal partner, my ideal partners, and I can see really quickly who they are. So now I can start recruiting and I can start engaging and activating. And it's a huge accelerator plus time saver. And who wants to search online or buy all sorts of lists, or wait till a conference or wait till a webinar to find those great partners? I mean, that's a lot of waiting that you have to do. And it's a lot of manual work. And it's one of the reasons I think that there's a lot of turnover in the channel and partnership world, because everything takes longer, because it takes longer in the very beginning to figure out who, which partners to go with. But once you have that data and you can use it, it's not only going to save you that time, but it's also proving out to drive new revenue. And you're finding partners that are actually, because they're better aligned, they have the right customers, they have the right decision makers who can make the decision to consume your technology. So, and these partners will have like the right tech stack to add your technology on, and they have the right competencies and certifications to be able to sell your platform through to your customers. So everything is much smoother, a lot less friction. And it's like, I always like equate it to being on the golf course, right? Do you want to spend, you want to take like 20 hits, 20 strokes to get to the tee, or do you want to get there in a couple, right? So if you're teeing off everything in the right direction, you're going to get there so much faster, and you're going to be, jumping and screaming at the end, because there's, it's big wins.
And so I guess I'll make just two calls. One, I'm not an investor in Partner Optimizer, but I love data a lot, and partnership leaders' job is to amplify everything partnerships this year. So I just want to put that call out there. But the second piece is when you start having the data conversation inside your companies, because data is so liquid, it's not an app, right? there's lots of these like anxiety that comes from just like looking at lists and looking at like attributes of partners, and like it can be a little difficult. But just know that like the other parts of the go-to-market team have already gone through this, right? If there are folks on listing that don't have specialized go-to-market teams or specialized RevOps teams, uh, but it would be, I'd be surprised if the folks listening to this don't have like specialized RevOps teams that already are working with go-to-market data. They're just not working with partner data the same way today.
Right. And something else that's really interesting that I've seen firsthand because of how our customers start out consuming Partner Optimizer and how they evolve and grow when they start to understand the power of the data is that at first everyone thinks about it as a list, because historically all you could ever do was say, I have a list of partner prospects, or I have a list of existing partners. Well, these partner companies, they are growing and investing and evolving and changing. And who your perfect partners are today may not be your perfect partners in 6 months or a year from now. And your partners, you also have indicators that you may want to stay away from partners that are focused on your competitors and giving business that could be going to you. They may look like your perfect partners, but if they're focused on your competitors, you're wasting a lot of time and money there. So having tools to be able to be forensic and understand how aligned a partner can be with you as an organization, as a company, versus as a person that you like and go to a ball game with is really critical. So so I think we're being guided in the presentation to show a little more about all the capabilities of what the Partner Optimizer platform does. And I am, for me, I'm so excited about it. I feel like this is the year of partner intelligence. And because of communities like Partnership Leaders, we have people ready and excited to learn and adopt new ways of doing business in the channel and in partnerships. And so what Partner Optimizer platform has been designed to do is custom data mining that brings all of these business attributes about a company, not just firmographics, not just technographics, not just demographics of people, but we're looking at a company's core DNA. What is their expertise as a company? And it allows us to help you discover new partners within Partner Optimizer. It also allows you to enrich and understand more about your own existing partners or your own partner prospect lists that you already have, and turn them into dynamic profiles so that you can understand who these partners are and score and rank these partners so you know which ones to invest in. You can research what your ideal partner profile is from a data-driven perspective. And why that's so important is that it's not just who you want your partner to be, but who are your best partners and what do they do? What do they care about? What are they invested in? And if you look at what they're doing, an ideal partner profile actually is much more expansive, because you want to fit into what your partners are doing and doing so well. You can learn what your total addressable partner ecosystem is, because you can use the same search queries to see how many partners are out there in the world that you could go and invest in and acquire. And therefore, you could also apply that to a dollar amount. If you realize what is the average transaction per partner and how many transactions a good partner can accomplish, you have all the numbers now, the qualifications and the quantification to be able to say to your management team, we can invest in the partnership strategy, and there is this many millions or this many billions of market opportunity here for us if we invest in partners. You can track partner alignment with your brand individually and as an overall group. And you can really, we're talking about AI and generative AI and all of that, because you can now learn which partners match to your profile and how. You now have the talk track right in front of you with a profile to be able to talk to the right partner about why they should care about your product and why your best partners actually are your best partners. And it's a much healthier, much more interesting and successful conversation and conversion recruitment process than ever before. And you can also be tracking how your partners evolve and change over time, and be able to understand, did a partner get acquired? Did a partner die? What's happening to your customers if a partner is no longer operating? So there's a lot of insights that come from just a single set of partner data that we actually mine and aggregate together. We put it here to show you all the different business attributes, because in the past, the access to this kind of data has just not been possible unless you somehow pick up a phone and start calling partners, hire people to do granular one-by-one partner research, but it becomes not efficient to do it that way. By the time you research all their partners, it could be the end of the year and you're onto a new strategy. This allows you to be very nimble. And so, for example, we heard a few days ago that Broadcom decided to dismantle VMware's partner ecosystem. And that's an enormous opportunity for the competitors of VMware to say, I want to go and bring my products to the VMware partners. And we have the tools right in front of us to say, let's go do that right now and know who they are. Whereas otherwise, they have to invest lots of time and research and people to figure out who those partners are in order to take that strategy forward. This is a great little slide that shows you how data-driven you can actually build an ideal partner profile once you have access to a tool like Partner Optimizer, or if you are, if you take the time internally to try to figure these things out. But based upon business attributes, you can go very, very specific. So you may be looking at solutions and services that should be your partners should be focused on DevSecOps and cloud integration and cloud management, but at different levels of priority. You can now focus and rank all that and come up with a really powerful search engine algorithm that's a hybrid search intelligence that is including your own strategy of what you need to find in a partner for a purpose of a campaign. It may be geographically, it may be by vertical, but it may be by technical expertise, or all of those combined. And so when your intent to build a query and find and surface those right partners is enhanced and enriched by having deep data like this, and then you deploy it with the right search algorithms and access to this kind of data, you're getting a really powerful start to your partner program. Not the clearest slide here, but what you can see here, when you have real partner intelligence in front of you, you can see what their top attributes are as a company. You can also see what attributes actually match your ideal partner profile, and therefore you know what to talk about with them. And you can also learn what they don't have that you really wanted, that was important for them to have in order for you to partner with. Is it a deal killer or not? And then you can also, this is another one where you can see, this is a search result where you're comparing your own list of partners against your ideal partner profile query. And this is a great slide because right away it divides out a set of partners into a set of that might be excellent, very good, good maybe, or not a match. And it's just as important, especially when you go to a conference or when you buy lists or when you scrape a partner locator, to know which ones are not a match, because you don't want to waste time on 990 partners, prospects that are not even worth your time. You don't want your people calling and talking to 990 companies that will never be a good match for you. Instead, you really want to focus on monetizing and converting those ones that are excellent. And so by having these kinds of insights right in front of you that can surface this data in minutes, it can change the whole trajectory of your partner program. All you have to do is pay attention. So we're at the end and we're open for questions and further conversation, but you can scan the QR code at the top for a demo of Partner Optimizer, and to join Partnership Leaders, which I highly encourage you to do. It is a great organization for your personal career growth, not just for the industry. The networking that you will have within Partnership Leaders, the job opportunities that they post, the conferences they're holding, the education they provide is so great. Scan Asher's QR code and think about joining Partnership Leaders if you're not already a member. But
Tina, I think we need to do maybe like a data day or something like that, where we have a couple of hours where we just like unpack some of this stuff. And so maybe like in a little bit later in the quarter, we should just do like an hour and a half session, because I feel like there's so much more to what you just said, and we need to go a little bit detail. And we should do that.
Oh, absolutely. I'm down for it. I mean, I know that, I live and breathe it, and
Yeah,
you do to some extent. But when I see it in motion and I see how, the data and whether it's discovering a new partner or realizing that a partner that was inactive is actually a perfect one to go activate,
yeah,
or learning that, 80% of your partners are virtual CIOs as opposed to managed service providers. I mean,
totally.
all of these things are like, holy crap, I should be doing something to, activate my partner program in a different way.
Yeah, and when I was in building that data company, one of the data scientists that I was working with gave me that advice and said, Asher, don't worry about where the data comes from. Do worry about what questions you want answered. Because the faster you can lock in on the questions you want to answer, there are so many data sources out there now. There are so many great data scientists out there now. We could come up with like propensity to partner to sell your product, like all this advanced sophisticated data points are all available in very, very large companies. And if we can bring them to the larger market, then everybody gets better and partnerships as a whole gets elevated.
Exactly. And that was one of my goals from the beginning, is to democratize this
Yeah,
access to data and
yeah,
democratize access to the right partners, so that it's not some black hole for these amazing technology companies that need to get their products out there.
yeah. So I would highly recommend people take a demo, because you're going to want to get familiar with all the different attributes of the data that are available. And then that also sparks good conversation internally in your partner team. So I would do a lunch and learn and have Dina walk her through. I spent a bunch of time with her in San Diego. I learned why she's building this company. And so, I feel like 30 minutes don't do justice to all the work that you're doing, Dina.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate it. And, having communities like partnership leaders that give us access to also understanding what the partnership leaders are looking for in
Yeah.
partner intelligence, where they're getting stuck, because it enables us to productize faster on the things that they're looking for. And, something that's so important is because there hasn't been access to this kind of data historically, the mindset is about lists, but the mindset is also, oh, I need a partner who has this many employees or this much revenue.
Yes.
Um, I encourage you to not think in that way about your ideal partners, because it's more important that your partners have the competencies, have the solutions and
Yep.
the expertise to implement and
Yep.
understand what you're doing, and basically sell it into whoever their customers are. You may have one small firm that's a consulting firm that is really, really strong in ERP, and therefore can sell and upsell all sorts of other workforce management solutions. But then you may have a very large company that's a solution, a channel partner company that doesn't have the bandwidth, and the cost to get them to bring your product in is so expensive and takes so long that you're barking up the wrong tree if you think that you have
Totally.
a shot at driving revenue within, 2-3 years. So it's, by taking a real look at who those right companies are and investing in the right directions, it's just really exciting. So yeah, so in a couple weeks from now is episode 5, and I'm excited that I'll be bringing on another founder of a partner tech company, Cassandra Golston. She's also the founder of Fempire, which is a really exciting organization for women in partnerships as well. And Cassandra is, as the founder of PartnerTap, we get asked so much how Partner Optimizer is different than the data of Reveal, Crossbeam, and PartnerTap. And Cassandra's really going to talk with me about the differentiations and enable us to allow the community to see that there's business attribute data that offers all these kinds of benefits. And then there's the cross-mapping and cross-selling with partners that comes from a PartnerTap. So I'm excited to have Cassandra on it.
This is gonna be a good one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, definitely. She's a sharp cookie. And, it's so much fun to talk about partner intelligence with others who are really diving in and innovating in the space.
Yeah. I know we're over time, but I think Leland
Yeah.
has a question. Maybe we take that offline.
Awesome. Okay, great. Well, thank you, everyone. We're looking forward to conversations with you in the future. And Asher, it's so great to have you. Happy New Year.
You too. Yeah.
And I look forward to deepening our, partnerships in the future. And, cheers.
Talk to you in a bit. See ya.